everyone. It's Randy News, your host on the Queen Shopline podcast, where it's all baseball talk all the time. And I've been gone a couple weeks. I'm sorry for that. I needed a couple weeks to kind of line up things for the end of my semester. So I do apologize for being gone for the last 2 weeks. That does not mean this card will go out to someone at the end of November, and I already have the December card picked out. I have a Don Russ signature series, Carlson Montgomery. You can't see the name, it's in gold. But yeah, Montgomery. This is not numbered, but it is a sticker autograph Paulson Montgomery signature series from this year's Donruss. So December, if you want a little stocking stuffer for yourself, I'll post the photo on Monday and the winner video on Monday for the Luis Angel Acuna rated prospect short print. So, to this week's news, there's been a few things I kind of wanted to wait. I'm actually thankful that I was gone the last 2 weeks with school. So I had a lot of stuff happening in baseball world, and we're going to talk free agents. So last thing I think I left everybody off on was the qualifying offer, and we'll start there. 22 million for 1 year was extended to, I think, a little over a dozen players, and only about 4 players accepted. Those people are outfielder Trent Grisham for the Yankees, infielder Gleyber Torres for the Tigers, pitcher Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers, and pitcher Shota Imanaga for the Cubs. Again, all just over a touch of 22 million for the 2026 season. And I think this is going to be big for all of these guys. Imanaga, I think, can get a contract that we'll talk about shortly right after this. If he performs. So that contract is the Dylan Cease 7 years, $210 million that the Blue Jays handed out. And this contract does include deferrals, just so you know. The Dodgers are the first team to do deferrals and won't be the last team to do deferrals. So, Dylan Cease, is he on the same level as Shota Imanaga? I won't say without the numbers right in front of me. But if Imanaga has a good year, not even just a great year, just a good year, he could get 3, 4, 5 or more years and $150+ million. that is not the first big deal of the offseason. That goes to Josh Naylor, uh, 5 years, only $92.5 million with the Mariners. Everybody else that is signed this year has only got 1 year, except for pitcher Phil Matone, who has gotten 2 years. So the hot stove is not so hot. Um, the other couple of things I want to talk about are just small news, um, depending on if you're a fan of the player or not. The Texas Rangers non-tendered Adolis Garcia, so he is now a free agent, adding to the pool of free agents, especially outfielders. So another outfielder. Um, the Angels and Anthony Rendon are talking of possibly buying out the last year of his contract. This is not the first time this has happened, just so you know. The Baltimore Orioles bought out the last year of Chris Davis's 5 year contract, um, where he just spiraled. This is akin to that, where they are hoping to just start a plan and purchase the last 36 million on his contract slowly. This signals, to me at least, they may bring in a new free agent third baseman who I'll talk about a couple of options, or they'll bring up someone internally. So we've got Kevin Paris, Denzer Guzman, um, in the minors who can definitely play third base and not have an issue. So, um, those options I wanted to talk about. We've had an influx of Asian talent coming in. We have Tatsui in my right-handed pitcher, Kona Takahashi, right-handed pitcher, and Munetaka Murakami, third baseman slash first baseman, and Kazuma Okamoto, third baseman slash first baseman, all from the NPB, that's the Japanese Baseball League, as well as Song, second baseman slash third baseman from the KBO, that's the Korean Baseball. So the Angels, if they do buy out Rendon and structure it so it's over like a decade of paying him, um, Murakami, Okamoto, and Song, all third base options, all have to be signed either before the end of 2025 or the beginning of 2026, depending on when they were posted, because the KBO only has a 30-day window where you can actually negotiate. So, song has to be signed before the end of 2025. I know one of the Japanese players that I named also has to be signed because he was posted very early. It may be Murakami. I believe he has a lot of hype behind him, and he decided to be posted early. Um, the rest are early January people because the NPB allows for a 45-day window to sign a deal with the team. So those are all of the big things I wanted to note. All of the QOs, the Asian talent, some of the big deals, and obviously some of the interesting news things. And I wanted to finish off with Fangraph's top five free agents for this offseason. This is in order from one to five, just from war. No, big thing for the Fangraphs um, website. They listed Kyle Schwarber, designated hitter, as the number one free agent this offseason. Cody Bellinger, first baseman slash outfielder, as the second. Kyle Tucker, right fielder. I think he could probably play left field as well. Um, and he's got an underrated hit tool, mind you. Third, Kyle Tucker, number three. And then we get into the pitching, which is huge. We'll see the long, numbers like we saw with Dylan Cease, 7 years, and triple-digit millions of, or say, I should say, hundreds of millions of dollars for Ranger Suarez, number four, and Framber Valdez, number five. So those are your top five. I'll run them again. Schwarber, Bellinger, Tucker, Suarez, Valdez. I could go into more depth of what I think on those top five. Any year, those are all-star guys, and even possibly, Cy Young or batting title guys. So, especially Cal Tucker, batting title. Ranger Suarez and Framber Valdez, definitely Cy Young, depending on how they do. So, yeah, don't forget Luis Angel Acuna, rated prospect. The Statue of Liberty short print is going to be someone on Monday. So look out, and I'll see you next week.